Hey guys, welcome here. Gonna be doing a reaction to Pinkie Tail Cindershy by Magpie Pony. Gonna be this is part 2, the final one, so yeah, let's just get into it. A 3, a 2, and a 1.
No, I can make it work. It's beautiful.
Good. Hop on in, Cindershy. Your prince awaits. Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you. You need to be home by the stroke of midnight, because that's when all this magic is gonna wear off.
Midnight?
Plus, no one likes to stay up past
Yes,
midnight
what?
anyway.
I don't know. Ask Paella when you see her. She seems to know all the ins and outs of what's going on here. For some reason, my magic isn't permanent like unicorn magic. All the more reason why I shouldn't be playing this part. Anyway, you best be going now.
Thank you.
The dress still looks kind of good on you if it wasn't so
Don't mention
poofy.
it, Sugar Cube.
Fairy Apple Mother said as the carriage pulled out of the garden and began its journey to the castle.
Good. Can I take this here dress thing off now? I should have just given her mine.
Meanwhile, at the
Very
royal
interesting
gala,
colored
the prince
guards.
was about to make his royal appearance. His right hoof pony, the Grand Duke, made his way to the center of the grand staircase and cleared his throat.
Shouldn't that
The royal
golden
trumpet
thing
sounded,
be on her
and the gala guests all
shoulder, not her
directed their attention to him.
top hoof?
My lords and ladies, I am pleased to welcome you here to the Prince's Gala. As many of you are aware, the Prince has been charged by the King to select his bride from those eligible mares in attendance tonight. At the Prince's request, every mare is to
I wonder
line
if
up
that's
around the
Prince
ballroom
Blue
and
Blood.
wait her turn to dance.
Yeah.
By the
Blue Blood.
gala's conclusion,
Whatever.
one lucky mare will be selected as his bride. So, without further ado,
Yeah, in
I
those
introduce you all to
times,
this
they
evening's
didn't really do the
festivities,
whole
the Prince.
courting shit. They just
After
forced
a
marriage.
long moment of silence, all eyes shot back to the Grand Duke in confusion.
His Royal Majesty, the Prince.
You forgot awesome, spectacular, radicalistic, amazing.
Oh, please
His
don't
Royal
let me, Rainbow.
Majesty, the awesome, spectacular, radical, something amazing Prince.
I get it, she's a lesbian. Come on.
Kingdom. Is every pony ready to have the most awesome, amazing gala ever?
Well, yeah,
Your
McFarlane
I'm
actually,
sure you
the
remember
original
Prince's
creator
request
of the
to be
show,
cordial,
actually,
kind, and professional this evening.
wanted
He
her to be a
expressly
lesbian.
forbade you to.
I mean, it's too goddamn obvious.
I'm just having a little fun.
Prince Dash said as he walked past a throng of adoring mares.
Hey there. Looking good.
In the actual show, are they
I am
even
the
fully grown
Grand
mares
Duke,
or fillies?
not Dookie.
I'm really confused.
Perhaps if we organize each eligible mare in a line, we can give each of them time to dance with you before you make your selection.
The Grand Duke offered, following close behind Prince Dash and having to keep the other ponies from getting too close.
Even
It's like I always say, Your Highness. Organization is the key to any successful.
Yeah. Books and learning and magic and stuff. Tell you what, Dookie, you do that, and I'm gonna mingle
Dookie.
with those cute mares over there.
Prince Dash said, zipping away from the Grand Duke quick as lightning to cozy up to a pair of mares.
Any pony wanna dance with the heir to the throne?
But that's what I'm saying. You must go about this in an orderly fashion, or every mare will get a chance to.
Now who made Dookie in the urinal?
Lighten up, old timer, will ya? It's a gala. Go drink some punch or dance or something. You do dance, don't you, Dookie?
not
You're one
very
of these mares who
well.
want to be swept off her hooves. Don't worry about a thing. I'm awesome. I got this.
As the mares swarmed around the prince, Cindershy had finally reached the gates of the castle. She made her way to the entrance and smiled, taken in by the beauty of the castle ballroom. From not too far away, Prince Dash caught a glimpse of Cindershy as she entered, and his mouth fell open.
Who is
Some people like to
I
shit
don't
Rainbow Dash
know.
and Fluttershy.
You're the one who said not to take names when the guests arrived, despite my several protests.
that? Was a rhetorical question.
No
Here,
bullshit.
take my crown. It's just getting in the way. Oh, and take care of these mares for me too. Thanks.
Prince Dash's departure was met with a chorus of disappointed sighs and grumbles, and all eyes quickly zeroed in on the Grand Duke, looking for an explanation.
There's There's no need to get upset, ladies. I'm sure the prince will return very soon.
Was it Lyra? I
Prince
think
Dash
Bon
made
Bon
his
won't be
way
too
to Cindershy with
happy.
single-minded determination. He'd never seen a mare so lovely. Once he'd flown to her side, he bowed low before asking,
May I have this dance?
Cindershy smiled, honored that a stranger would be so forward with her.
I can't
Although
hear
she
it or-
still didn't
or
know where the prince was, she was taken by this stranger and accepted his offer. Cindershy had never learned to dance, but it didn't seem
I
to
tried
stop
with
her
my
from
small
gliding
bit-
across the ballroom with Prince
stories,
Dash.
but yeah.
As the pair of them danced, the other mares could only stare in disappointment. None more so than Lady Rarity and her 2 daughters.
Who does she think she is anyway? She's being incredibly selfish if you ask me. Other ponies want to turn too.
Strange. I place
This
it where
bitch
I
and the
feel
2
as
little
if I've
bitches.
seen this before.
That's because you have, silly. That's Cindershy.
Hush, Piella. Mommy's concentrating. Who could that be?
God damn it, you're stupid.
Come on, she's not even wearing a mask. It's not that hard to tell that that's our sister Cindershy.
You're just jealous that somebody else is dancing with him. You're making up wild stories for attention like you always do, Paella.
You guys even have a brain.
Now you're stupid.
I'm not.
R2.
I'm not.
R2.
Quiet! Both of you. Perhaps the Grand Duke will know who she is. Come along, you two.
Oh
and
my
please
god.
try not to embarrass me.
Yes, Mother.
Excuse me. You there, Duke fellow?
Not the face! Oh. Please forgive the outburst. Prince Dash had me mitigate
Is
a few
Trixie
angry mares,
blushing
and I
at
fear they got the better of
Tree
me.
hugger.
How is it I can help you?
That mare, the one he's
And mine.
dancing with.
Flirting with a guy.
I
in the
have
back.
absolutely no idea, madam. I tried to get him to be more organized about all this, but would he listen? No. He'd rather call me Dookie or Egghead and go gallivanting off on another one of his quests to slay some monster or other, and I'm left to endure the king's wrath. Is it fair? Most certainly not. I'm a duke, not a babysitter.
God, Twilight's so like me. Or I'm so like Twilight.
Meanwhile, Cindershy and the
Can't get
prince
that
had danced
simple answer,
themselves
just
away
gotta
from the
explain
jealous
it.
crowds and into the castle gardens. When they finally looked away from each other, Cindershy gasped in delight at the beauty around her.
I take it you like the garden?
Like it? It's the most exquisite garden I've ever seen. Oh, I bet you get all kinds of little animals running around.
Yeah,
So
if you're into
exactly
that sort of thing.
how do you
I am. I really am.
so do you do bump bump or
Well, then
what?
you should come here whenever
how would
you
you
Oh,
do?
how I'd love to. I'd spend
Yeah,
all
I
day
bet.
exploring the
It ain't like that. Just go to your room. Dash, go home. Both of you go to your rooms. Oh, man. And neither of y'all slam your doors either, or I'm taking them off the hinges.
flora and fauna of this magical place.
there's this thing I have to do tonight, and it's kind of lame. But after meeting you, I think maybe I might have actually made the decision about.
It's
Oh
midnight.
crap.
Yeah? So what?
Oh no. Oh no 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 no. I'm sorry, but I have to go. I have to go now.
But why?
The prince. I haven't met the prince yet, and I was looking forward to that. Thank you for a wonderful evening.
The prince? But don't you know that I'm...
Goodbye.
Cindershy called, running as fast as she was able to in her glass horseshoe.
Well, if you didn't wear the goddamn
don't.
hat thing, whatever.
Cindershy knew the handsome stranger wasn't far behind. She
You know,
continued
even in the
running, her
movie,
heart
I found that
beating faster
really
with every
confusing.
toll of the clock
Wouldn't your
tower fell.
entire
She
magical
raced down the
gown,
front
everything
steps,
that
but
would
in
have
her
to do with
haste, she had
her
forgotten how
outfit
fragile her
disappear,
footwear was.
even that little
She
glass
stepped down
slipper?
hard on the stone, and one of the glass horseshoes shattered.
Oh my.
Thinking fast, Cindershy removed the other horseshoe before it too would shatter. From behind her, she could hear Prince Dash gaining. She
What?
squeaked in fright
How?
and continued down the steps.
If the other one broke, how the fuck?
Cheesy Belle.
Uh,
Rattling?
uh,
Where are you?
We're here!
Oh my. You're mice again. The magic must be wearing off faster than I thought.
Yep.
Who's that?
Never mind. I can't let him see me like this.
Her scissorful friend.
He must flee before he sees me.
Or lover.
Sees you in what? The dress we made you?
Show him how pretty you are in that one.
Cindershy said. She scooped her little mice friends into
I
her hooves
ditched the
and ran
dress.
along the path back to her home. Moments later, Prince Dash had finally made it outside,
No one
but to
cares.
his disappointment,
Stupid
the mysterious
advertisement.
mare had vanished. The Grand Duke was not far behind, gasping and wheezing for air.
You're a fucking alicorn.
Highness, what about the other
You can
mares
fly
who-
or
Never
teleport.
mind the other mares, Dookie. I wanted that mare. The mysterious mare who has stolen my heart. Look, she even left one of her horseshoes behind. It's a sign.
A sign? More like a sign that those shoes were a clear hazard to begin with.
No matter what it takes, I will find that mare and I will make her my princess.
All right, if you're sure. What's her name?
I don't know.
Well, where does she live?
No clue.
How about her main color? Her coat color? The color of her dress?
That's funny. I don't remember.
Then how do you expect to find her?
I don't.
Rainbow
you
Dash has
just
my
said
memory.
I expect us to find her. Come with me, Dookie. We will scour the kingdom looking for the mare whose hoof fits this glass horseshoe.
What? Are you crazy? There's bound to be hundreds of mares with that hoof size in this kingdom.
But only one of her.
Yes, but that doesn't solve our problem at all. All right, I will have the royal stable hoofs get your carriage, my lord, and we will set out to find the mare of your dreams, who you only danced with for 10 minutes and know nothing about.
We
So
leave
true.
at dawn.
Dawn? Why Dawn? She can't be far from here, sire, and with all the other guests still in a ballroom, don't you think it will be easier to find her if we left now?
Dawn, Dookie.
So
I did
true.
not sign up for this!
The next morning, Prince Dash and the Grand Duke began scouring the kingdom for the mysterious mare. As the Grand Duke had predicted, many mares' hooves could fit in the glass. Those whose hooves did fit were promptly sent to the castle to await Prince Dash's decision.
Your Highness, please. We have not slept since the night before the gala. We're tired. We're delirious. You just sent 3 mares to the castle with completely different eye colors. I'm beginning to think this is a lost cause.
Their eye colors might have been different, but they could be my love.
One of them was in her 80s, sire.
Wow.
I do not discriminate based on age, Dookie. You should be ashamed of yourself, degrading older mares in such a way.
But we're looking for the mare you danced with last night. I know for a fact that she was young. Even I could tell you that much.
We can rule out some of them later, Dookie. For now, let's just go to the next house. Besides, there can't be that many houses in the kingdom, right?
Oh, there's a
We've
shit
been to
ton.
like 40 already.
There are 100.
Only 100
Yeah.
houses? We could totally do that.
No, Your Majesty, 100,000 houses in your kingdom.
Whoa. On second thought, let's make this one the last house.
Fortunately for Cindershy, the last house that the prince was going to visit was her own.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, however, she was
fucking
not able to
ironic.
see him when he arrived, as her evil stepmother had
Lucky
cruelly
she.
locked her away in her attic before his arrival. She didn't want Cindershy to have any chance at all of marrying the prince, and was worried that her pretty face would distract from her own 2 daughters. Unable to do anything, Cindershy wept in her attic prison while her little mice friends watched sadly from below.
You have wings. Fucking fly out the goddamn window.
That prince sure does sound a lot like the handsome stranger Cindershy danced with last night.
That's it! The handsome stranger must be the prince!
Oh, yeah? And how do you know that? You didn't see the prince or the handsome stranger.
But don't you see, girls? We've been on a quest for something and never knew what that quest was. Maybe our quest is to reunite Cindershy with her love. And the only way to do that is to get the key.
Well, it's worth a shot.
I'm in.
Or
But
open the window
what's
and
the
fly.
plan? I've
Just
got
saying.
one.
Whisker Bloom announced, then pulled her friends closer to whisper it to them. Meanwhile, downstairs, the prince and the duke were letting Spikina try on the glass horseshoe.
I'm telling you, sire, the shoe does not fit this one.
Of course it fits! I wore it last night! How could it possibly not fit me this morning?
You're a fucking
He has a
dragon.
point, Dookie. Why wouldn't the shoe fit the next morning?
Oh, for the love of Celestia, will the next pony please try it on now?
While every pony was distracted, the Cutie Mouse Crusaders had made their way down towards the stepmother. They noticed she had hung the key to Cindershy's room on a hook on the wall. Sadly, the hook was too far to reach.
Now what?
Now we wait for Redwood to wake up Opalescence. Trust me, Cheesabelle, this is gonna work. Just make sure to stand right here under the key.
Not too much longer, the pair of mice heard the sound of Rataloo screaming. Opalescence chasing. Rataloo provoked Opalescence to chase her around outside before cleverly directing her toward the wall that held the key. When Opalescence jumped to attack her, Rataloo dodged her claws, causing Opal to crash into the side of the key, shaking the key free from the hook inside. Moments later, an exhausted Rataloo joined them, still panting for air.
Did you get the key?
Sure
Yep,
did.
got the
Great job,
Minecraft key.
Rataloo. Let's get this to Cindershy. Quick!
You know what I found out, girls? I can move a lot faster than you two can. And I'm a lot stronger, too. I wonder why that is.
You're a fucking rat, that's why.
Rat-aloo.
It's like you're an entirely different animal.
Well, no shit!
Huh. Well, that's weird. Oh, anyway, come on. What are we waiting for? Let's get this key to Cindershy.
Wonder what lives longer, a mouse or a rat?
Thank you, Hasbro, for keeping every pony the same basic shape and size.
Be careful with that!
At last! I may have possibly found my beloved! Again, would you be so kind as to join me at the castle, my dear? Our fairy
Would you
tale
just
ending
remember the
awaits.
color or
Don't
something?
you mean you and about 20 other mares fairy tale ending?
Yeah, that. I forgot about that. Well, surely one of them is my beloved. I'm sure I could tell them apart once I see them all once more.
You won't have to.
Yeah, the glass horseshoe fits me. I'm obviously your princess.
You know, they should really be a different hoof sizes. Just say.
My, you sure are a lot more energized than I remember you last night, my love.
That's because I always wake up to a nice cup of coffee. Puts the bounce right back into my bounce.
Actually, Your Highness, I was not referring to my daughters.
Huh?
I was referring to me,
Oh
as it is
my.
I, your beloved princess, to be.
Mother!
Hush, child, and give me the horseshoe at once.
Lady Rarity said, taking the horseshoe from Paella before she could protest.
See? The horseshoe so clearly fits me, my love. Whisk me away to our happily
I didn't think this through, did they?
Pretty sure my love wasn't a unicorn. In fact, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure she was a Pegasus. We did dance in flight after all.
You're just remembering that detail now?
Flew with magic, of course.
But I'm your love.
No, it's me!
No, I am.
Lady Rarity and her daughters gasped when they saw Cindershy enter the room. Lady Rarity growled under her breath and realized she was still wearing the glass horseshoe. Thinking fast, she slammed her hoof down on the ground, shattering the horseshoe to pieces.
Bitch.
No! That was the only real clue we had!
You don't need any more clues. Clearly the horseshoe fit me, and therefore I must become
It fit
the
every
princess.
goddamn pony.
You're wrong. I could never forget the face of my one true love.
You could what?
I've searched all day for you. Would you be my princess?
I don't know what to
Sadly, that's how it worked in those days, because women weren't treated
is
that
no
well.
pony going to point out that the magic wore off on everything else except
They were kind
the
of property
shoes?
back then,
Don't
unfortunately.
interrupt the love scene. She can understand us. I told you guys. Point Rataloo. Yes, yes, of course I will marry you.
And so it was that Cindershy's dream finally did come true. She was soon wed to the prince and became a princess, never again having to work for her wicked stepmother and stepsisters. The Cutie Mouse Crusaders had finally accomplished their great quest and decided to live their lives in the castle with Cindershy, where they could be pampered and treated like the little heroes that they were. Cindershy's family eventually apologized for their behavior and begged to be allowed into the castle. After lengthy teachings of kindness, they were finally able to live in the castle alongside Cindershy, whom they accepted.
Or in the dungeon.
And so, they all lived happily ever after.
And those two scissored.
Wait a minute. Cindershy forgave them? After all that they put her through, she forgave them?
Look on the actual history of that. There is a really dark
This
side.
story's ending is totally
Like I said in
unsatisfying.
part 1.
But anyway, I hope I'll see you all next time for more Pinkie Tales.
Pinkie. And that was that one. There's obviously more, but I should work on the other one. I made it just... I keep forgetting. Sorry, it's mornings. I'm always tired. I gotta keep saying. It's the only time I can make these videos. Reaction ones. But yeah, that was interesting. And, I never really know what to say in these. Still no surprise. I'm a little surprised that Rainbow Dash was the prince, but not really, because we all know she's the biggest lesbian in the whole goddamn show. At least the lawyer and Bonbon. But, yeah. Hope you guys liked the video, and have a nice day.